Hello everyone, I'm Andy from the Pixel Pub, and I'm here to talk about the retro games we have picked up recently, especially here on our beach trip that we just did about a week or two ago. Okay, so this is a little mini haul here, not a lot of games. Only about 6 games here, but there's some grails here, especially a very big one that I'll get to at the end. I did talk about 2 of them at the end of the beach video, but I'm going to go through all of them right here. So let's start at the start. Okay, this first game, it's a PS3 game that I actually didn't pick up on our beach trip. It was at a local record store here that's right down the street from us, and they have a little small selection of retro games, and I spotted this, and it was in good condition. It was my first time being there, and I was just like, well, let me support a local business, and it is MotorStorm on the PS3, a launch game on the PS3, I believe. I picked this up because I think to date now, I have every MotorStorm game except for this one. I have Pacific Rift, which I got when it came out, and I got Armageddon just a few years ago, and we got Arctic Edge both on the PSP and the PS2, and I think that's every single MotorStorm game that they released, and this is the very first one. I still have the stickers on it and stuff like that, because usually, as a rule, for these videos, I will test out the games, and if they don't work, I don't put them in the video. I will try to return them, do something else with them, whatever. This one is weird because if you're familiar at all with the PlayStation 3 interface, the cross media bar, XMB they call it, when you put a game in, it will load up the game and it will say the name of the game on the cross media bar and play a little trailer of the game or a little gameplay. And for this game, it totally does that. It knows it's MotorStorm, it will play a little video, but when you actually try to play it, it's not working. So we've tried it a couple of times. I've tried cleaning the disc, and there's something tugging at me to keep it because the PS3 recognizes it. It knows it's a PS3 game. It knows exactly what it is, but it's not exactly working yet. I think I can get it to work. I think I can, but we'll see. But if not, I have the receipt on my email. I've kept all the stickers on. We'll see what happens with MotorStorm, if it stays in the collection or not. But I do like the MotorStorm series. I didn't get it at first. It was Pacific Rift that really got me into it because it looked so gorgeous at the time. And the talk about, the different track layouts and stuff. There's all these different shortcuts you can take and all the different class of vehicles. You can be a motorcycle, you can be a monster truck, and everything in between. Just a super fun time. And I did want to try this out because it was the first one. I've never played it before. But unfortunately, that little snag hold me back. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get it to work. Okay, next up is a game I believe I talked about at the end of the beach video. Is Bonanza Brothers on the Sega Genesis. I am, in my later years of video game collecting, I am a boxed, can't even say it, boxed Sega Genesis game only collector. I love a Sega Genesis box, especially when they had the hard clamshell plastic cases. I love that stuff. But I never see this game anywhere. And I was first introduced to this game through, I think, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. I think it was on there. I'm pretty sure. It was one of those games that I wanted to get the Genesis Collection on the PS3. I wanted to get it on the PS3 because PS3 had a better D-pad than the Xbox 360. And these are mostly 2D games, like side-scrolling games on that thing. And I was just like, hey, the PS3 has a better D-pad. But when it came time to buy it, that fucking lure, the Siren's Call of achievements, pulled me in, and I ended up getting it on 360, which was fine. And I got to play Bonanza Brothers for the first time, and I had a good time with it. I think it's a super cool game. You play as these 2 little brothers, I guess. They're the Bonanza Brothers, and they're like thieves. And you go into a little level, and you're like hiding behind cover, and all this is in 2D. It's weird. You're hiding behind cover, and you're shooting enemies, and you're like stealing shit, and you escape through like a helicopter or a blimp. I think it's a blimp. It's got fun music, but like I said, I never ever see this out and about. And I was like, well, it doesn't have the box. It was not that expensive. Let me just get it, and I'm gonna pick up a box at some point on eBay. I've already found a couple on eBay. They're not that expensive. The shipping is more than I would want to pay, but I will get a box, and this will be a boxed Sega Genesis game in my collection. And yeah, Bonanza Brothers, I like it. Okay, next up is a game that I did pick up at the beach. It's something that I was caught up in the retro gaming whirl there. Like, everyone's picking up games. I want a game. I want a game. And I was like, well, I want a game too. I got Alundra 2. What is it? A New Legend Begins. And I've never really played Alundra 2. I played a lot of Alundra 1, which is like the PS1 answer to the Zelda. And I really like Alundra 1, but it's really expensive. This one, not so much so. This one is like full 3D, which Alundra 1 was like sprite graphics, top-down, stuff like that. I have a feeling this is like way, way the lesser of the two. I don't know. It was like, I don't know, $30 or something like that. I was like, eh. And it's in really good shape. I was, well, let me pull the trigger, and I'm going to give it a shot and see what Alundra 2 is all about. And now, I'm going to talk about this with a later game as well. I don't know where this trend came from of PS1 games that are only one disc. You could see down there. Can you see? One disc. It says it on the back too. One disc. But you notice there's two things here. So like you open it up and that first thing is just a flattened off PS1 logo and the manual. Why did this need to be two disc things? I imagine is that the publisher of the game, Activision, I don't know why they would have a surplus of double disc PS1 cases to send out. Activision didn't really dabble in a lot of RPGs in that era, or ever, really, I guess. But I get, my only guess is that they had a bunch of them. They needed to get rid of them, so they put stuff like Alundra 2 in this, and I don't know. It should be in one disc thing, is what I'm saying. Alundra 2. Okay, next up is a game I do believe I mentioned at the end of the beach video. It's Radiata Stories on the PS2. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong because I did watch Kathy play a good chunk of this when we got home to test it out. And you're this kid named Jack Russell, like the dog, like a Jack Russell Terrier. And you're wanting to join this night, the Radiata Nights. But in the game, they call it something slightly different. I can't remember what it was. And I didn't remember when I did that video, and I can't remember now. But I remember seeing this game on shelves and stuff. Towards the tail end of the PS2 era. What was it, 2005 when this came out? Yes, 2005. It's copyright on the back. And I was like, man, that looks interesting, but maybe not as interesting for me to spend, $40-50 on it, whatever it was at the time. I don't know. It was always like a little curiosity because it is one of those games where you could collect a ton of different characters. 175 brave souls, it says on the back. And it has action, combat like a Star Ocean or something like that, or Tales, or a Tales of game. And it has a fun look, even though I think the characters look kind of ridiculous with their giant eyes and tiny heads. I don't know. I think it's a good time. Kathy picked this up. I think she was just kind of caught up in the look of it and it being a Square Enix game, a JRPG on the PS2 that we don't have. And I think with these next two games, you'll see that I think both of us are on the same page. It's like, we just want all the good JRPGs, retro JRPGs we can get, and get them while the getting's good. Okay, last two games here. I'm going to start with the first kind of half Grail game, and then the full Grail game. And when I talk about the first one, you could probably guess the second one. But I will say this. We were at the store at the beach, and it's a giant store full of a ton of games, and it was amazing. It's always an amazing experience to go to this place, Game Giant. Look it up. Check them out, Wilmington, North Carolina. And I picked up Ape Escape originally. And I just did my video of my top 10 games in 1999. The Ape Escape was up there. I think it was like number 7 or something like that. And it's a game I never owned, but I rented it a lot. And I was like, oh man, I've been looking for this for forever because I was playing in that video. Couldn't find it by the time I wanted to actually sit down and record the video. And it was there. I was like, okay, let's go. I'm going to get it. So I got it, and they do the thing like most retro game stores do. Most responsible retro game stores do, I imagine. They just keep the discs somewhere else. They'll have the case out and about for you to, know what they have. And when I was buying my stuff, he was putting the discs in and everything like that, and I paid for it, and that was it. And then as we walked out, got in the car, started to drive off, and Kathy and crew were checking out the games that we had, opened up Ape Escape, and it had this gigantic Blockbuster rental sticker on it. And it was like big and thick. And it was like, I don't know, it looked like the disc was brittle because of it, because the thick sticker was on it so much. And it looked like it. Everyone in the car swore that the game wouldn't run. I bet it would, because I trust Game Giant, because they have so much stuff. It seems like they test everything. It seems like they're taking in stuff all the time. I bet they tested it, and I bet it works just fine. But I just didn't like that sticker. I'm just a stickler. I don't know, stickler for stickers. I didn't like it. It rubbed me the wrong way, and I was I don't want to be this. I don't want to be a male Karen and go in there and be like, "Hey, what you sell me?" But I did go back and explain to him. It's like, yeah, I didn't know the sticker was on here, and I don't really want this sticker. Like, I'm just being, I'm being picky, and it sucks. And the guy who was working there was totally cool with it. He's like, yeah, the guy who sold it to you probably should have showed you. And I will say this. I will bet money that guy totally showed it to me, but my mind was somewhere else. Like I tend to drift. He was like, showed it to me. It's like, yeah, whatever. And it didn't even register at all. So I'm pretty sure that's 100% my fault. But he was super grateful, and he was like, hey, if you have something else that you want to pick out in exchange for it, we'll do that. So this is what I got for basically about $10 more. It is Suikoden 1 on the PlayStation 1. This is a game that I played on the Suikoden 1 and 2 remaster thing on the Switch kind of late last year around Christmas. Had a damn good time with it. Suikoden is a very fun RPG series that is a big blind spot for me. That's why I got that HD collection when it came out, and I was just ready to play it whenever I had the time. This game, just like Alundra 2, it's one of those things where it's a one-disc game, but it's in the dual disc system here. A little ad for Vandal Hearts there, the Konami Tactics RPG. Yeah, one disc, and Suikoden 1, when I played through it on the Switch, I had a damn good time with it. Super breezy RPG. It's one of those RPGs that kind of originally said, hey, what if there's a ton of characters you can have in your party? What if there's 108 Stars of Destiny? How about that? And like, even your party size is huge. It's 6 characters. And the battles are so snappy, and like, I don't know. It's a really good time. Suikoden's been a ton of fun. And Kathy's been playing it on the PS2 here in the game room on the CRT. And yeah, it's one of those, I don't know, for me, a must-have RPG on the PS1. Big blind spot for me, the whole Suikoden series. And I'm ready to dig deep and play the rest of them. But you got to start at the start, right? Suikoden 1. Okay, so with Suikoden 1, you could probably guess what the next game is. But it is a game that Kathy picked up at the same time that I picked up Ape Escape. She kind of went back and forth with getting Shadow Hearts Covenant on the PS2, or 1,000 Arms on the PS1, or this. And it's Suikoden 2. And she got this. She had some birthday money for my family. My family still likes to give out money and stuff for birthdays, no matter how old you are. And when I got Ape Escape, I was like, well, I wanted Ape Escape. Like, this is my thing. But I knew that they had Suikoden 1. And Kathy was talking about, oh, I got Suikoden 2 now. I'm going to play it on the PS2 in the game room on the CRT. I was thinking, no, she should play Suikoden 1 first, because if you get all 108 Stars of Destiny, all 108 characters, you can unlock the main character from this game in this game from your memory card thing. So I was like, no, you got to play them in order. And I still haven't played Suikoden 2. That's not totally true. I bought it digitally on the Vita from the PSN store. I played like 12 or 13 hours of it, and I had a damn good time with it. But life and other things got in the way, and didn't finish it. I am fully committed to playing Suikoden 2 on the Switch release that I have, but to have this in the collection, like, to me, this is like, people describe it as in the same breath as like Chrono Trigger you know, Final Fantasy VI, like one of the greatest RPGs of all time. And this case and everything, manual, all of it, disc, just in immaculate shape. I've been collecting games since I was a very young child. A lot of the collection you see here is stuff that I bought or got as it came out. I take very good care of my stuff. I don't mean to brag, but I take very good care of my stuff. Like, this looks like I bought it when it came out in what, 2000? 98 it says here. This looks like it would have been in my collection because it's like there's not a blemish on it, not a scratch. Manual looks incredible shape. The disc looks like in this incredible shape. Like, I keep repeating myself, but it's in great shape. And now it's in our collection. I have requested from Kathy to 3D print something that we could put this in and just have it forward-facing in the PS1 collection. You can probably see back there on the Super Nintendo shelf. I have some Super Nintendo games that are like some of my favorites, faced out, not in the not in the basic bin there. I don't want this to be in the basic bin of the PS1 games. I want it to be up front and center, so people can see it, so we can just say we have Suikoden 2. And surprisingly, this wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be. If you'd asked me that morning, how much you think I'm going to pay for Suikoden 2 today, I would have guessed something way higher. Not way higher, but a bit higher. Like, just looking at its cover, it's like, man, we finally have it. This is like a true Grail game for me. I cannot wait to actually sit down and play it for real. Play it more than 12 or 13 hours, basically. But yeah, Suikoden 2, that's the big one. Okay, so those have been the retro games we picked up here recently. A little mini haul from our big beach trip that we had a lot of fun with Sailor Nuggy and Chris and our family, Mary and Steven and Baby Penny. Baby Penny was there too. But yes, we had a damn good time. A lot of fun games picked up, a lot of fun games to play at some point. So, if you have any thoughts on these retro games, if you have any retro game, recommendations, let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. I've been Andy from Pixel Pub.